I'm waiting on the will of heaven today. Gotta tune in to what the angels say. Listen for the good news coming my way. I'm waiting on the
Hello, 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 hello. No funny accents tonight, okay? Well, we could. Everyone could talk in funny accents if you want. How about that? Okay, let's go over here.
We could.
Okay, who's up? Oh, wait, good evening. Good evening. Let's have a look. Jackie, Shapanta, Primary, Rohit. Courtney Savoy. Very sophisticated. Hi, Precious. Hi, Precious. Hey, Grace. Grace from Down Under. Oh, so it's like afternoon for you. Rohit, hi from India. It's so cool. See there.
Smelling all the flowers.
Let's see if I can do this. Jackie Sean, good evening. Shafanta, good evening. Sharon, good evening. And Carrie, you too. Thank you, thank you. Sue Johnson. Wait a minute. Sue Johnson. Sue Johnson. Okay. Okay, stay there a second. Don't go away, anybody. Don't go away. We just started. We just started. Good evening, MW. Good evening, MC. Good evening, Jenny. You made it. Yay, Jenny's here. Jenny is moderating tonight for us all. Thank you so much. Trying to keep the house in order because I know you guys get a little bit nutty sometimes. That's okay. Red Vixen.
Smelling all the flowers.
Okay, Red Vixen.
Staring at the
Yeah, let's have a look. Rose, hi, good evening, Rose. And Lena, yes, good evening. Calm down. Calm down, Lena. It's okay. Jackie Sean, good evening. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Welcome, 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 Jackie. And Rohit, let's have a look. Oh, awesome, you're here. Hey, Abby's in the house. Abby, good evening, good evening. And Trista Perry, woohoo, yay. It's like club night, VIP club night. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, there was, yeah, Sue, that's what I'm. Hold on, I'm just gonna make a few notes here. Stay there, don't go away. I'll be right with you guys. It's gonna be a totally random, bizarre evening. I hope you don't mind. Yeah, the gang here. It is a bit of a gang tonight, isn't it? Sue, you're gonna get a reading. Sue Johnson, you're gonna get a reading. I don't know why, but I felt compelled. Okay, there you go. Mary, yeah, you got it, Mary. Well done. Yeah, some hot chick. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Gotta tune in to what the angels say. Ooh. Okay. Who is Lena? Lena is Lena, no green effects, okay? She does special effects for movies, you know that, right? Sue Johnson, yeah. Yep, yeah, Sue, you're gonna get one. Oh, Shaponta, okay. All right, well. All right, let's have a look here. I'm gonna give one to Shafanta because it sounds like we're already into the point where it's already happening, people. Super Chat is live. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, sorry, I got a bit carried away there. Who was that? Wait a minute. Okay, Jenny is definitely setting the tone here tonight. And yeah, so if anybody wants to buy a reading, sure. Yeah, I'm very susceptible to persuasion. And who, there was someone else I wanted to give a reading, Shafonta.
Gotta tune in to what the angels say.
Now, I don't know why.
Listen for the good news coming
Any
my
luck?
way.
Hold on. Yeah, thank you for that, Jenny. Thank you so much. In case you haven't figured it out, guys, there's this thing called Super Chat. Apparently, it's pretty cool. I don't know how to work it from this side, but it works from your side. You click that button next to where you type. There you go. Okay. I'm just making notes, people, on the background here, so you can't really tell. Now, who is Marilyn? Is Marilyn Deloney here tonight? I owe a reading to Marilyn Deloney. Hey, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Let's have a look. Primary, good evening. Hi, Primary. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh, yeah, you did, right. That's right, Giggle, well done. Actually, last week went really well. Or was it the week before? There was a week where it went huge. Lots of donations. Thank you.
Listen to the waves come crashing down.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, so I've got Shafonta. Jim Johnson.
I gotta tune in to what the angels say.
So I'll catch up with you later. We'll do this in a private setting, okay, Jenny? Don't you worry. I'm just putting it over here for the record. All right. Well, Lena, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, okay? For sure. Okay. So don't worry about it. It's not so bad. It's not. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, okay. Hold on. In circles. Hey, Allsun, I've been getting a lot of support here for doing a shop, like a Terra Lumination shop for like merchandise and things, like the scarves and things, but other stuff too. Like we did a show last night with we did this crazy art thing, and people want posters. So anyway, oh, you found the song. Well done, Rose. Well done. Thank you, Rose. The Blue Light song. We're gonna play that for sure. For sure. Hold on.
I'm waiting on the will of heaven
Let's have a look here now. Okay, so a couple of things. Oh yeah, the art show. Maybe I'll show it to you. Hold on, stay there. Don't go away. Don't go away.
I'm waiting on the will of heaven today. I gotta tune in to what the angels say. I listen for the
okay, I'm back.
Coming my way.
Sorry, I got distracted. Stay there.
I'm waiting on the will of heaven today.
All right, so I got distracted. I was going to show you a painting, but it never happened. Stay there, man.
Waiting on the will of heaven
today. Okay, so we're going to say hello, good evening, and welcome to everybody. Thank you for showing up. It's lovely to have you here as usual. It's been a very strange time for most of us and for Terra Illumination as well, okay? And we'll do, okay, sorry, let's make some notes here. couple of things I wanted to show people. Please do a Leo reading. Really? Like just for Leos in general? Huh. Okay. Leos in general. Oh, maybe it's because of all the opposition you guys are facing right now with the eclipses. Right. Hold on. Hold on a minute. You touched on something there. Who said that? Who wrote that in? Ah, hold on. Now, sorry, I'm a bit muddled tonight. Everything's kind of muddly. I think it's a lot. I'm blaming everything that's going wrong on the eclipses right now. I hope you don't mind, and we all can have an excuse. So I wanted to mention a couple of things over here. Hold on. Live art, Zazzle, and we're going to do posters and apparel, and I want to do the silk scarves, but that's separate. I'm just showing you. Also, I want to do watches. So, Michael, what I was going to ask, if maybe we could talk later on, we can talk about Terra Lumination watches. You know, we talked about that once already. So, the first thing I wanted to chat about. Hey, Ivona. Hi, good morning. On the bus, yeah. So, last night I was just going totally insane. And the only thing I could think of to heal all the pain was to do something totally silly. So we started to do a live show, and I didn't have a clue what to do. So I just got a piece of black paper and my pens, and I started to make a piece of art. And it was very exciting. It was a lot of fun. And we made a huge poster, a big black and white poster, like a big painting. And Abby wanted to start an auction, and somebody wanted to buy posters and do coffee mugs and things. And somebody wrote in to suggest doing the Zazzle thing, whatever that was. And so I did the homework, and it's a way to create a store for custom Terra Lumination stuff. So I'm working on that now. And you know how the scarves are very expensive, okay? They're very expensive, and they're all silk and everything. And I've only sold a few because they're so expensive. But I'm thinking of using the same artwork to do a big poster, and the poster will probably be around, well, probably about at least half the price, you know. So you can still get something from Terra Illumination that would be kind of big and kind of cool. And also, somebody wanted a T-shirt. So I've been playing around with making T-shirts on Zazzle and setting up a store. And it might be a few weeks because the Zazzle people have to make sure that Terra Illumination is cool. So we'll see what happens. But I was thinking of T-shirts, you know, just really cool, cute girls' T-shirts. And I guess if a guy wanted a Terra Illumination thing, we could figure that out too. Okay, so that's kind of fun. And yeah, so the poster idea is pretty cool. And so I just wanted to mention that just from last night. Now tonight we're going to do a group reading for all of us. Okay. And who was it who wrote in? Claire Aguilar. These readings are scary accurate. ASF. Okay, I think I know what that means. I think I know what that means. Marilyn, there you are. Marilyn Delani, I owe you a reading, I think, don't I? Don't I owe you a reading? Could you type it in? Marilyn, do I owe you a reading? Was it you who was telling me about Zazzle? Marilyn? I can't remember. Claire. Claire. Claire, okay. There's a big vote going on the screen now that Claire needs a reading. Okay, we're just going to do it just because you said so. Okay. And Tarot Illumination listens. Okay, so Claire, you're going to get a reading. All right. Did she super chatted? Wow, thank you. Okay, so you're going to get a reading. Thank you. I have to. It's hard to watch. At the beginning of each post, and then offer. Okay, what a new poster every month. Whoa, that's a really cool idea. Wow, you guys are so. You're way ahead of me, frankly. I'm just trying to do the readings. So these people are going to get readings tonight. We've got 3 here, and we're going to get a group reading as well, okay? So that's for all of us. That's for the whole group. That's for everybody here at the Tarot Illumination Love Tribe, okay? So there you go. Tarot Illumination Love Tribe group reading. There you go. Super, super, super fun. That's going to be for all of us. And Marilyn, where are you, Marilyn? I've only got a tiny screen here that I can see. So I think I owe you, Marilyn? Can you let me know? Do I owe you a reading? I think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I'm pretty sure I do because I remember something to do with super chat, and I kept reminding myself. I put little post-its on my office, but I think I owe you a reading. Something like that. Okay, so we're just going to mark it on there. Okay, you've got it in the records. Right. Oh, thanks, Jenny. God, thank you so much. Those records actually really help. They're much better kept than mine. So let's just put a couple of things over here. If you do. Yes, Marilyn, if you had to go to the loo, well, that's happens. You know, I'm not going to stop you. It's just nature talking. Okay. Let's see. I'm not sure. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 readings here already. Let's just leave it like that for now. Okay. Alrighty. Just leave it like that for now. And I'll square up with you later. Okay, Jenny? All right. Sometime because my voice is going to get pretty worn out. I've been doing a lot of readings lately. So, what? Lena? You've never, yeah, that's not real. You've never had a reading? Oh, man. Seriously, Lena? Oh. Yeah, I'm going to do the group reading first, Happy Go, okay? Oh, dear, oh, dear. Lena. Okay, well, that's it. That's all I can handle right now. I can't imagine doing anything more than this right now, okay? So let's put that over here. This is what we've got so far tonight. That's enough to get us rolling. Let's just have a look at the weather, okay? Stay there. All right, don't go away. Yep, that's how much he loves it, TL. I get it, Giggle. I totally get it. This goes up here. Let's make a bit more room. Afanta and Sue. And Marilyn. Okay, so don't go to the loo, Marilyn. I hope you've done your business already. So for people who are interested, all right, so Jenny will take care of you. All right, cool. Yeah, so Jenny does readings too. So I just wanted to put a couple things up here. I used these a while ago, but they're even more significant now, okay? just for fun. Okay, hold on, give me a moment. Now, you know, a few days ago, we just had this huge Aquarius new moon eclipse. Now, I don't know about you guys, but uh, it was an absolute whopper. It was an absolute whopper. So it depends on who you are or where this sits in your chart. It depends on your sun sign. For example, if you're an Aquarius, a Leo, a Taurus, or a Scorpio, you could have really got slammed by this eclipse in some way or another because it was very strong and it's on the angles. You know, the angles are here, okay, right here and right here, here and here. So I don't know how it was for you, but you know, I could be anywhere in this. This could be anywhere on anybody, but I know it affected me in certain parts of my life because wherever this lies in your chart, I found this part of my chart right there, and lo and behold, I'm just getting a lot of upheaval and changes going on in this part of my life over here. So if it's happening to Terra Illumination, it's happening to you guys too, because I really, really feel it. I feel it for the collective, and I feel it for the individuals. It shows up in the private readings. It shows up in the group readings. So all I wanted to do was mention that this was a pretty significant calendar moment, and this is going to, you know, impact us for weeks and weeks to come. Okay, so you might as well start getting used to this shift in energy now. Okay, people, I hope you don't mind. Oh, Marilyn, you really got slammed. Okay, fair enough. Well, I did this over a week ago, and I was trying to give everybody a heads up, and now it's happened. You know, frankly, I felt this thing building up for a couple of weeks before it even happened. I felt it from the full moon beforehand, the eclipse 2 weeks earlier at the end of January. It already started piling up. So there you go. But this too shall change. We've already moved on, and it is already the 18th. So we're heading very gently and slowly to this thing. Have a look at this. Okay. Chateau Dormo. Wait a minute. I just saw something. Hold on. Something flashed up on the screen. Thank you, Chateau. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Chateau. Sue Johnson, you felt like your heart was going to burst. Oh, dear. Okay. So anyway, we're heading to this new thing. All right. The energy is going to shift around the end of the month. We're still right in it with the new moon eclipse Aquarius, okay? And it's either today or tomorrow. Let's have a look. Um, I think it's tomorrow. The sun is going to move into Pisces, but we're already feeling the shift and change in every energy. And so it's a huge, huge cluster. And on a particular time period, it really piles up here. There is a particular date, and it is around February 25th, 27th, where we have a really big fat trine between Pisces and Cancer and Scorpio, but that's not on this doodle here. What I wanted to show you here is that from February 25th, mark your calendars, people, Feb 25th to March the 4th, we have a huge, huge cluster of Pisces energy starting things off, and it's going to build up to the full moon on March, I believe, 1st. Okay? So just prepare yourselves. It's going to be a really different shift in energy. So the main cluster is with Sun, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, and Chiron. And also, well, in a month from now, it's going to be the Pisces new moon as well. But for now, this is still a huge cluster. So I just wanted to get this on record, okay? All right. And how this affects you, of course, is where does this lie in your chart? Find your chart somewhere and look for the big Pisces squiggle. It looks like this, something like this, and make a note of it, because actually all 30 degrees are going to be occupied by Pisces energy for that time period. So it's a 2-week period. And my feeling is that it's really, really fortuitous regarding healing, regarding love and healing, which is, of course, a major theme with Tarot Lumination. So, hey, Jake, what's going on? So anyway, I wanted to point that out. So with the Pisces energy, typically it's very kind of mystical, spiritual, spacey, artistic, hypersensitive, very imaginative, very, very dreamy, almost otherworldly. It can go so far where you feel lost and delusional, illusional, wondering what the heck is going on in your life, in your world, if you take it to these shadow extremes of energy. And in a couple of weeks from that time, actually, it's already going to be here in 2 weeks, we're going to get the big Virgo full moon. So it's going to be a very strong emphasis on love and healing, both because the Pisces and the Virgo axis is very, very attuned to love and healing. Basically, my feeling is about discovering everything that needs to be revealed in order to be healed, and then doing the practical applications of whatever that healing would be. Maybe you need good juices, maybe you need smoothies, maybe you need yoga, maybe you need regular cardio exercise, maybe you need physiotherapy, maybe you need to give up some addictions and gently kind of heal those things. Maybe there's a physical thing that you need. Maybe you need counseling or something. Whatever it is, let's hope that it comes to the surface and we'll take care of it, okay? And of course, we do readings over here at Tarot Illumination too, so if you need one, you know what to do. All right, so I just wanted to put those on the record there, just for fun. We haven't really started yet. Hey, Rohit. Hey, Rohit. Good evening, good evening. So let's have a look. What else did I want to mention? Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to get started. We're going to start pulling a reading. Give me a moment. I need some refreshment. Whoop. Okay. Oh, let's have a look. All right. Let's get settled in, people. Ah, MW. I happen to know someone with your situation. Actually, no, it's just the opposite. I know someone with Virgo on the MM Coily. Okay, so I gotta pick who's gonna go here. We really ought to start with the group thing to get in the groove. I think that's what we'll do. All right, let's just do that for now. We'll put this over here. Actually, let's clear the decks a little bit. Let's just put this up here so we have a bit more room to move around, all right? And we're going to get the cards, people. So just hang in. It's that time of the evening. We actually get into the show itself. Okay. Okay. Here we go, folks. Now, the cards were already well shuffled in advance. We're going to go to the last second so that you guys are a witness, all right? I'm going to put this over here, give ourselves a little bit more balance. All right. I'm feeling a little bit strange and fussy, okay? It's been a very tough week, and a lot of us have been feeling it. I think it's all to do with the eclipses. And I had to receive a lot of healing in the last few days. Thank you very much for that wonderful, kind offer. You know who you are. Thank you so, so much. And it's working. Thank you very much. I am a living testament that love and healing works. I have been a receiver of the healing power of love from some very powerful, gifted healers who practice the healing power of love. Okay? And you know what that's all about. Yeah, this is a group reading, EJ. Okay, cool. Cool, Jenny, no worries. So long as you feel everything is stabilized, sure, just hang out. No problems. Okay, we're going to go big and wide with this reading, people. It's just going to be kind of big and sprawly, and it's going to be, I'm not going to say a bit of a mess, but I feel it's going to be kind of all over the place. We don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I'm just kind of going by how I feel. Typically, the cards tell me things on the way when I feel them and they're shuffling. So let's kind of go for it. Here we go, people. Thank you so much for all your support last night, by the way. It was a lot of fun. I really, really needed that, all of you guys who were there. And there's a bunch of you who came last night who aren't here today, but I'm still going to thank you. And let's have a look. Hi, Liz. Hi, Liz Wolf. Hi, Clay. Okay. So cards are shuffled. We're going to cut it up very, very strangely because of the Aquarius energy. I'm doing things in a very quirky way. In fact, I'm going to have to make some room here. We're going to do this, and we're going to do something like this, just to give us a bit of room. I hope it all fits. Now, okay, so just chill. You guys might as well just hang out and chat amongst yourselves, because from now onwards, it's going to feel a little bit like you're just watching one of the general reports, okay? Just like we do, okay? So just hang in, enjoy. Put your feet up, clip your nails, pick your nose, rub your face, snooze, daydream, listen, or watch, however you want to do it. Here we go. This is the basic heart energy at the very core. Your heart knows what it needs and knows what it wants, okay? And it's up to us, up to us as our conscious beings in the temple of our spirit, which is our physical body, to understand, acknowledge, and honor and respect and care for our heart. Our heart tells us, our heart knows. The heart is connected to our limbic system, and it feels everything, the fear, the love, the joy, the sorrow, the indecision, the confusion, the loss, the peace, the rest, the excitement, all of it. And the heart is always calling out to be loved so that it can be loving, okay? You can't do what it does unless you love the heart. It's so important for you to love yourself, feed the heart, okay? I keep saying it over and over and over again, but we're not trained to do that. It seems to me, from what I can tell, a lot of us are trained to like be heroes and saints and always give away all our energy to everyone else. And okay, I get it. I totally get it. But sometimes we need to take care of ourselves. So that's the heart energy right here. This is legacy energy. This is kind of what we're bringing in with us as a collective. So all our stresses or baggage. And I just had a very strong image of people in transit. Like all of us are in transit in this life and this journey. Some of us are coming in with our suitcases packed absolutely to bursting point with a lot of stuff we don't really need, bits and shirts and stuff and wires hanging out on the side. Some people are showing up with double, triple the amount of baggage we actually need in order to live a happy life. Some people are showing up with broken baggage, a lot of damage, so to speak. Some people are showing up very, very lean, almost too lean. Okay, you don't want to take the energy too far where you're showing up uh, with empty pockets and no resources in life because of having been depleted. That isn't good either. So I'm feeling like I'm at an airport lobby, and it's full of people who really want to live and love and be happy and move on to the next stage of their journey. And some of us are anxious and stressed. Some of us have really got it together. But in general, most of us are showing up with the very worst of who we are, because that's what needs to be revealed in order to be healed. And I think that's what's happening right now. I think we're getting set up right now for the big Pisces Virgo axis. Now, that axis isn't actually really amplified very heavily by the Leo Aquarius things going on right now, and not heavily amplified by the big, Capricorn, Aries challenges right now. I think it's much more to do with the Jupiter and Scorpio aspects that are really, really supporting this Pisces Virgo thing. I just want to mention that again here. So don't give up hope, people. This big axis here that's coming in about 2 weeks, it's heavily supported by Jupiter and Scorpio. So the big theme is going to be about love and healing. It's going to be, that is the theme. That's the most important thing. And we're being supported on the way. And of course, what happens is the things that need to be healed need to be revealed. So there's no way out of it. So anyway, let's have a look at the present moment. This is what I think of as the ever-present now, and where almost nothing feels like it exists because we're so immersed in our life, where we forget the past and we forget about worrying about the future. And sure, we have to plan everything, but if we're too rigid and we hold on to everything that we thought was life, like our status quo, and we use that as a way to project and estimate our future, sure, okay, that makes sense up to some point, but it still doesn't allow for the randomness of the universe. And that's what we allow for here at Terra Illumination by staying in the present. And it is in the now where you hold all your power, you keep all your energy. And as highly conscious, evolved beings that we are, that's where we're going to stay by choice, by decision here. And we're not going to outsource our happiness to default decision makers like our upbringing or our school teachers or our parents, our religious backgrounds or whatever, or our spouses and mates and whoever we feel has ownership or dominance over our lives. We're going to own the energy ourselves, okay? So how do we own that and conduct ourselves and make these decisions using the healing power of decisions to feed us, to feed our heart, feed the love that we know we need in order to get to the next heartbeat, the next pulse, the next movement in life? How do we do that so that we make the best of the energy here? And when we do that, we receive consequence, okay? That's the energy of life moving on, evolving, heartbeat by heartbeat by heartbeat. And of course, over here is the energy of what if. Like every moment that our heart beats, there's risk and reward. Like, oh my gosh, did I make the right decisions? Oh my gosh, I hope I did the right decision. That could be awesome. So this is all of it. This is what if it works? What if it doesn't? What if I mess up on my decisions? What if I make a really good job of loving myself? There you go. And here would be the momentum for us. Okay. I'm hoping this looks like a little heart for you guys. Do you see that over here? Like this? Like we do in the big readings. This is the pulsing heart. It's not just for, Cancerians or Sagittarians. This is for us here tonight. Okay. It's us guys. All right. We're going to look at the weather in the moment, like what I think of as circumstantial energy, and it's here, let's say, affecting all of it. You can blame it on the planets or your location or the news or your family, whatever it is. And we're going to start with this before we actually get into the reading. Okay. Okay. So to me, this is very, very liberating. My feeling that this is very much to do with the Aquarius new moon eclipse that just happened, which I think was a very, very strong wake-up call, like a big alarm bell that was going, hey, people, wake up, people, wake up. And it's been shaking all of us up to our cores, literally rattling, shake, rattle, and roll, where everything that doesn't count gets shaken away and put aside, and all of a sudden the things that really, really do count in your life become starkly exposed, and everything that works against what counts becomes starkly exposed as well. And it's just like an OMG moment. OMG. And it's like stark and it's blinding. It's like having, it's like it's pitch dark and it's stormy, and then you get this massive big blitz of lightning, and everything shows up around you, and you realize, oh my gosh, look at all that stuff around me that you couldn't see without the lightning. That's what I feel this is all about. So it's my feeling is to take advantage of this, no matter how rocky or bumpy it might be. That's what I did, and I'm recommending this to you. I took advantage of the severe jolting to, I just pretty much had a kind of a breakdown, and I accepted an offer of healing. So I feel like I'm a living example of having lived through this, and I'm still living through the shockwaves, the echoes from all of this. So please see this as a gift. If you're really wigging out right now, if you're really, really stressed right now, let it out, let it happen. Be willing to talk about it openly with someone that you trust, and let's work on it, okay? Work on what needs to be healed, because that's how you get happy. You remove the obstacles to happiness, okay? You don't have to go and get it. You just you remove. It's always there. The love is always there. The problem is that it's blocked by our own expectations and layers of resistance. What's the heart saying? Okay, I want peace. I want love. I want healing. Okay, excuse me. And it's a very, very good opportunity now, I think. Over the next 2 weeks, our heart is saying, please get me in line. Pretend you're at an airport or in line to get on the Terra Lumination love bus. Just do it in an orderly way. Please, it's almost like the heart is saying, please, what do I have to do to get in line to take full advantage of the love and healing that is coming our way right now? This is on the understanding, like if you go on one of those healing quests, like they go to Lourdes or that John of God guy down in Brazil, where people know that they're going to be exposing their problems to something bigger than them that they believe in. You know, there's regular doctors too, and your dentists and everything, but sometimes we need spiritual healing. Okay, that's really very much what we do here at Terra Illumination, because a lot of the deepest pain and suffering is contained at the spiritual core. So that's very much to do with the Pisces energy. And I believe that the Pisces part of our charts, whoever we are, wherever we are, I feel that hold on, this is going to start screaming very, very loudly at us. Please, please have a look at yourself in the mirror. Please be willing to identify all the things that really hurt in you, that you've ignored, buried, and shoveled away and stuffed into the attic and kicked into the basement, and acknowledge all the stuff there that needs the healing, okay? And then prepare for it. It's like getting in line for a flu shot, okay? That's what I'm thinking here. Get in line for treatment, okay? So that's what the heart is calling out for, and seeing this as an opportunity. It's almost like fate is forcing us into this alignment for love and healing. The Pisces theme will be very, very strong, okay? So a lot of you Virgos, if there's any Virgos out there, you might really, really feel it over the next few weeks, okay? Just letting you know. And the Pisceans, of course. So let's have a look. What's the baggage? What are we bringing in with us? Okay, I have a feeling we're all here just being kind of honest with ourselves and admitting to ourselves with the Seven of Pentacles. It's just like, well, I knew this was coming. I knew it. I knew this was happening. I knew at some point there would have to be a moment of reckoning. And I think it's this time period coming up over the next few weeks where we're really going to feel it, where we're all being drawn into a position where we're going to have to become starkly aware of our assets, our value, our values, our love, how much we love ourselves or not, and how much others love us or not. In other words, look at it. You know how we do this all the time? Be loving, be loved. Be loving, be loved. Here's how about this? Are you loving? Are you loved? Are you loving? Are you loved? Are you being loving? Are you being loved? That would be, I think, a very good question for all of us to ask right now while we're waiting in line for our spiritual healing. Okay. So we can be really honest with ourselves, take a really good appraisal about the things that do not please us, that we know need attention, all the pruning, the tucking, all the grooming, fertilizing, prepping that we've kind of neglected because we've always we're just, it's just enough just to get by, but it's not enough anymore. In order to evolve and grow to the next levels in our lives, we really, really need to clear up our doo-doo, clear up our CRAP, okay? And we can get help to do that. I got a lot of help in the last few weeks from other healers helping Terra Lumination clean up Terra Lumination CRAP. And Terra Lumination is here to help you guys, help you clear up your CRAP. Okay, there you go. Now let's have a look. What about the ever present now? Okay. Well, to me, this is like a big group hug. It's almost like at least there are a few of us here. Like there's a bunch of us here in the house tonight where we can actually give each other a big monster love hug. And if we don't understand what Terra Illumination is talking about, it kind of doesn't matter. The most important thing is that you're here. Okay. And it's like a deliberate, conscious choice to be in an environment of love and healing where you can give love and you can receive love. Okay. And you won't be judged because we're all here covered in bits and pieces of our own doo-doo. So we can all just laugh about it together. It's almost like you can point at my shoulder and say, oh, look at that piece of dandruff on you. Or I can look at you and I can say, oh my gosh, you really need a haircut, whatever it is. But we're doing it together because it's fun. If you turn it into like a community project where we understand that we all need love and healing, then it isn't so bad. In fact, let's have a toast to ourselves and each other right now with Terra Illumination brand cranberry juice. Welcome, everybody. I'm raising my glass to you guys tonight because I know that you guys have been very, very supportive and very enthusiastic towards Terra Illumination. And Terra Illumination is 1 year old now. Okay, it's still a very tiny new channel and it's 1 year old, but this is a time for us to celebrate. Okay, I should have brought a cupcake and a candle. Oh well, don't worry about it. So let's just celebrate the moment. Let's just enjoy the fact that we're here together at all, that we have a little environment, a place where we can hang out and celebrate the love and healing and deliberately bring the opportunity into our lives. Literally trust that fate is guiding us in this manner, okay? Now, about these decisions, okay? Here's my guess, people. My guess is that at some weird, freaky kind of way, we're all like our own versions of soulmates to each other here. And if it's not something from the past and it's not soulmates from the future, it's almost like we're creating a soulmate brotherhood and sisterhood right now between ourselves and each other. Because look what happens on the chat screen. Look, I mean, I know some people have met their loved one here through the Terra Illumination live show. Somebody wrote in and told me that. And so I'm very happy for them. So I see that this environment is very much conducive to love and healing. And so perhaps, in a few decades from now or half a century from now, when half of us have already disappeared from this planet, we'll still be connected with very much love for ourselves and each other, primarily ourselves. And we will have actually created like a little, I think they call it, what do they call those Facebook group things? But this is at the soul level. This would be like a soulmate, uh, like a group thing, however they call it. A love tribe. It would be the Terra Illumination love tribe. And we're actually growing that and building that right now. And this is the perfect environment to share the love and the healing. I bring as much as I can to the room. I did a lot of self-healing today on myself just to get myself clear to be into the zone so I can bring as much love and healing into what we're doing here tonight, because I see this very much as an active platform where the energy flows here on through me, literally through the hands, to the screen, through the wires and the cables and all the invisible radio signals and internet things all over the world, and we connect to each other, and it's all about the love. So how do we do this in a way that works? I think it's all about ultimate self-respect. I think it's about maintaining our dignity and honor and self-respect at the very core levels, where we all literally honor each other, just in the way that some of you serious VIP crowd, that's what you do. I know that's what you do. You literally, like, it's almost like it's I don't know what the word is. You know how all Sun and Giggle and Lena, you're very, very loving and respectful for each other. And Jenny and all the other VIPs and all the regulars who come in here, you are all making deliberate choices to honor and respect each other in your full dignity, as though it is like a gathering of the dignitaries, okay? Where you all realize you are dignified in your own ways and your own manners to the highest levels possible. So in this healing environment, it's very important to understand that we are all very broken in our own ways, and we all need love and healing, but we are the best people to bring that to each other. It's literally an environment of group healing. It is an Aquarian theme. If you want to look at this as a combination deal, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here because I'm not a professional astrologer, but this is what I'm going to say right now on the record. I can't prove it in the charts and the planets, but I feel that this here, this massive Aquarius new moon eclipse that just happened, is a massive wake-up call for all of us to realize what is truly important about our community and the sharing of ourselves with each other, and what is obsolete and redundant, okay? Because that's what happens with the eclipses. All the useless stuff gets eclipsed away, and the important stuff becomes brought into identity, no matter how uncomfortable. And what is obviously so, so important, and I feel like I'm witnessing it right here now in front of you guys, is this, okay? I see this new moon eclipse as a massive wake-up call. Like, wake up, people, wake up. What really, really, really counts is not your car, your house, your job. uh, what really counts is the love, the healing, and the soul connection with ourselves and each other, and bringing the love into the most important as the number one priority, making love and healing your number one priority. And it's going to be spelled out and brought out vividly here over the next few weeks, okay? So I'm adding this into the reading now, all right? So it's all about the dignity and self-respect. It doesn't matter whether you're in a wheelchair and paraplegic. It doesn't matter whether you're very successful and wealthy, but you're spiritually very damaged. It doesn't matter. Uh, if you're lost and confused, that doesn't matter. We all have our weak points, and it's all going to be exposed in a safe environment. It's like literally getting on the Terra Lumination love bus, where it kind of doesn't matter what your earthly credentials are anymore. What counts are your spiritual credentials and the love that you bring into the room. Okay? So that's how we're going to do this. Consequently, you see, ha ha ha, bammo, bammo, bammo. You see what I'm talking about here? It's basically love breeds love. I feel that's what's going to happen over the next year. I'm seeing this locked into the Leo Aquarius eclipses, because Terra Illumination started almost exactly a year ago today. And here we are a year later. Some of you have been here since the very beginning. Some came in later. But at the very beginning, I knew that it was all about love and healing. I knew it was about love and healing even before Terra Illumination existed. And now I feel that's what is coming here. Consequently, the consequence of deliberately choosing to bring the healing power of love into our lives literally brings it into our lives. It is by invocation, and I'm going to do it right here, right now. I'm going to take full advantage of the reading. Give me a second. to just use this much repeated invocation. I've already done it a few times for myself today, but I'm going to translate it in terms of we. Okay? We. Okay? So as I read this out, this is for all of us. This is just going to be generic, but I want to emphasize the Ace of Cups here, okay? Because that's the consequence. This is what happens. If you think of love or the healing power of love as a phenomenon, as an energy field, literally, like if you could think of it almost like a big shower, you know, those fancy, really upscale shower heads that are really wide. They're about this big around and they create a massive, like, downpour of water. That's how it feels for me in my life, in my world. Okay. And I do it deliberately. So all I'm suggesting here is this is a chance for us to sort of kind of get in the shower together. I know that sounds kind of weird and obscene, but it's not. It's all about receiving the healing power of love. So bear with me, okay? In the healing power of our decisions, respecting ourselves and each other, making the love, bringing in the love as a top priority, and treating ourselves as a soulmate group, okay? Deliberately choosing healing and love as the priority. We can do it this way. I've got an I, but we're going to substitute for we, okay? So there you go. Just bear with me. I'm just going to read it up the page. You can close your eyes and listen if you want, or you can talk about it, say it to yourselves in unison with our illumination. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our bodies from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our minds from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our hearts from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our souls from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to build our relationships from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our loved ones specifically from up above. We ask for the healing power of love to fill our homes from up above. And we ask for the healing power of love to fill our lives from up above, like complete saturation. Just imagine you're completely stark naked in a shower right now, and the healing power of love is flowing onto you. All you have to do now is accept it. Okay? Now, of course, you can rewrite this however you want. I just do this one because it works for me personally, and it goes big and wide. Okay? So I just wanted to share that with you. So what happens if you mess up? Okay, what happens if we deny ourselves the chance to be together like this, and we think it's just us and the rest of the world versus the rest of the world? Or what happens if we lose track and we forget that love is the most important thing? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, we lose the chance to succeed. That's what happens when we neglect to love ourselves like this in the collective. It's very sad. Okay, this would be very sad. I know it's the victory card, but in the context of what if you mess up on your decisions about bringing love and healing into your life? If you mess up and you choose deliberately not to love yourself, or you abdicate your decision making phenomenon rights, or if you outsource your decision making to others, hoping that they're going to love you first above them, you're denying yourself, you're hurting yourself, and you basically undermine the chance to win. Now, when you deliberately bring love as the priority, when you deliberately love yourself first and share that with others, like literally get in the shower, invoke the healing power of love into your life so that you now have it in your pocket, in your wallets, in your mind, your body, mind, heart, and soul as an expendable commodity, then you can share that, okay? You can share that in like what we're doing now. So it would be loving, be loved. Now that you own the love, be loving and be loved. Okay, spread it. It's like an amplifier. The better it gets, the better it gets. So be loving and be loved. Okay, and that's how you succeed in this. That's how you succeed in healing. Okay, where does this take us all? Okay, To me, it feels like we're all making it official. I'd like it to make it sort of official. I'm going to pretend this is kind of like a mini birthday party reading for all of us, and that this is a chance for us to literally like party and dance together. I mean, I know I'm not doing it right now, and this just sounds like another tarot, just generic tarot illumination reading. But for me personally, this is a very special reading for all of us as a group, because I think it's almost like that thing going on, you know? It's like that. It's that kind of energy. How about this? We are loving. We are loved. Okay? We are loving. We are loved. We are loving. We are loved. We are loving. We are loved. And we're doing it deliberately. This is deliberate. It's by choice. Normally, I do this extremely gently, but right now I'm being quite, uh, let's say, bold, and I'm making it a really solid bond, okay? It's like us getting, it's like a group marriage thing, you know, whatever they call that, where like we deliberately choose to bond with each other in the context of love and healing, where the number one priority is the love and healing, where we get to share that and grow that with each other and make it official. Okay, this is about making it official, being proud to wear the badge. So maybe we'll make some little tarot illumination badges, who knows, you know, we can celebrate. So I'm really happy for you guys. I'm really happy about this reading for us here tonight, because this applies to tarot illumination as well as you guys, okay? So I'm very happy with this, and it makes total sense to me right now, especially the way I gave the broad expanded interpretation that included the little bit of astrology there. So it takes it a little bit outside the parameters of a traditional tarot reading, but I hope you don't mind. I know some of you think this is kind of an avant-garde channel, and I took that as a compliment. Somebody said that tarot illumination is the avant-garde of tarot. So there you go. I accept that. I'm proud to be that. I'm proud to hang out with you guys. I consider myself in a soulmate group with you guys, from past lives and present life and into the future. I feel we're creating a bond here deliberately right now, where it's all about the consequence, what happens when you deliberately clean up your doo-doo and allow yourself to heal. We do that respectfully with ourselves and each other, honoring and respecting that we bring the healing power of love into our lives, and we can celebrate that and win and achieve and have a freaking party. Okay? I should have brought my party disco ball tonight. I'm sorry I didn't. Okay. Yeah, you got it, Claire. You got it. It's very, very simple. I don't know how to do that. The only thing that I know how to do is what we're doing right now, which is do these little shows for you guys and just see where it goes. We've been doing this for a year. I've only missed, I think, 2 shows in the last year. Uh, so it's been pretty good. It's been a lot of fun, and we're going to do it again. All right. So I'm going to take a little break here while we get set up for some of the personal readings. Okay. We're just going to do this live. This whole show is basically to promote tarot illumination as an environment, a place for love and healing. Okay. So in a little while, we're going to read for Shafanta and Sue Johnson and Lena and Marilyn and Claire. Okay. These are the readings. That's a lot of readings, and it's going to take most of the rest of the night, okay? And that's just how it is. All right? So let's just put these aside for a moment. I'm going to put a little song on while I take a break. Okay, so stay there. I'm going to put Through the Ether. There it is.
Through the ether. Laying up and around in our mountains, in our seas, in our forests, with all of our stones, exploring one another, pushing our boundaries like new lovers. And you comfort me through the ether, and you tell me, I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me through the ether that we're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. That you're holding my hand all the way. La, 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 la. Our innocence is becoming so apparent. Our magnificence at the same time too. With your permission and our shared ambition, get the chance to discover our truth. And you comfort me through the ether, and you tell me, I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me,
Anna, yes, that's Lumination.
that we're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. That you're holding my hand all the way. That you're holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way.
Okay. I'm just going to show this to you guys. I hope you can see it. This is the little piece of artwork that we made last night. And I hope you can see it. And so I figured a way, because a lot of you were asking, can we get this as a poster? So I'm working on it. We're going to turn this into a big poster. And I don't know how much it's going to cost, but it's probably going to be 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks or something. I don't really know. It took a while to make this, and some of us were here last night when we did this. Okay, so yeah, so this is, hey Laura Ellen Smith, good evening, Constance. So I just wanted to show you, this is just a little glimpse at the piece of art we made last night. Okay, now I'm going to play that song again just so I can give myself another break. Okay, so here we go. All right.
Through the ether. Laying up and around in our mountains, in our seas and our forests, with all of our stones, exploring one another, pushing our boundaries like new lovers. And you comfort me through the ether, and you tell me, I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me through the ether that we're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. That you're holding my hand all the way. La, 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 la. La, la, la. Our innocence is becoming so apparent, our magnificence at the same time too. With your permission and our shared ambition, get the chance to discover our truth. And you comfort me through the ether. And you tell me, I can tell that you're worried about me. And you assure me through the ether that we're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. That you're holding my hand, holding my
Oh,
hand.
the blue light. Yes.
That you're holding my hand, holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way. Holding my hand all the way.
I know what you're saying about the blue light. I understand you, Rose. I get it now. I didn't get it at first. So there we go, folks. This was the little painting that we made last night. And this is kind of what it looks like inside my brain. Okay? This is what it looks like inside my brain. And there's this person here. I guess it's kind of androgynous. It's really a tall, skinny girl, but she looks so muscular and tough here. Maybe it's kind of a guy with, you know, one of those transgenders or something. Anyway, she's got a symbol of cancer on her leg. She's tattooed. And we had to write in the names of everything so people didn't get too confused. All right. So anyway, there we go. What we're going to do, this is going to be turned into a poster. We're going to have posters so people can get posters at the Terra Lumination Zazzle store, something like that. Hopefully in the next few weeks, few months or whatever. We'll see. All right. There you go, folks. Back to Terra Lumination Live. Woohoo! Yay. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Okay, the blue light. Okay, so. All right, let's just do it. Let's pick up on. I'm going to read Shafanta first of all, okay? Okay, so we're going to read for Shafanta right now. See how that goes, all right? Oh, Jenny, I'm so sorry. So sorry about the fever. You know, it kind of makes you loopy after a while. If it gets up to like 103, 104, you're basically insane. You go insane. Okay. Hey, so Michael, can we talk soon about watches? I got these ideas because somebody wrote in about Zazzle and things, and we maybe figure something out. I don't know. All right, Shafanta, you're up. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know if you've had a reading here before, Shafanta. I can't even remember if you've been here before. I recognize some of the VIP regulars and everything. I don't recognize everybody's name because the screen goes so fast. And a lot of names I think I remember, and then I don't. Okay, so for all I know, Shafanta, you've been here plenty of times, and maybe it just didn't click. All right, but you're here now, and you're going to get your reading. All right, so there you go. All right, let's have a look. Also, Jenny, one thing that I learned about massive colds and heavy fevers is that if you bundle yourself up in sleeping bags and boil yourself alive and you take the fever to the maximum, that will kill the bug. I know it's a very, very painful way to do it, but you could destroy the bug, and within a few hours, once it's all dead, your body is healed. You know, when you take all the aspirins and the painkillers and everything, that stops the body from doing the boiling thing that it wants to do. The body boils up because it wants to kill the bug. Anyway, that's what I learned. All right, Shafanta, you're up. Cards were well shuffled in advance. I was shuffling in the background while you guys were hanging out. And we're going to go to the last second so that you're a witness. And cards are ready to go. All right. So this is a public setting, okay, Shafanta? It might get a little weird. If the reading comes out and you think, what the heck was Tarot Illumination talking about? Sometimes it happens where it doesn't quite make sense for you at first, maybe later, but it makes perfect sense for somebody else in the house, okay? So please allow for that, all right, Shafanta? All right, here we go. What's the situation? What's the challenge, and how are we going to handle this? All right. So let's have a look at the circumstantial weather. Let's just dive right in, okay? Circumstantial. Be very careful, Shafanta. Right now, if you feel like you're on black ice, like emotionally, psychologically, in your love life, relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, or whatever, or even with yourself, if you feel like you're deceiving yourself, but you haven't been willing to admit it, this would be a really good time to admit it. Okay, especially with the astrology things that I just talked about. It's almost like you can't escape. In other words, if you try to escape, you'll end up coming back to the realization. So if, Shafanta, you're one of those people who's very, very good at deceiving yourself and putting things aside, tucking them away, so that pretending that they're not important, and then they come back and they get worse and worse to the point where, oh my gosh. So that's what I'm feeling here, is that it's a really good time to be aware of how you could almost be your own worst enemy without even knowing it. That's the problem. A lot of people know, like, oh, you're your own worst enemy, or, oh, sometimes I'm just my own worst enemy. But sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't even know how very subtly and very effectively we undermine ourselves, we betray ourselves, and we cheat ourselves. It's like we're literally stealing the love away from ourselves that we deserve, because we're not willing to clean up our doo-doo. Okay, so let's have a look. What's the situation? Okay, let's think of it in terms of manifestation. So Shafanta, if the issue is like your own femininity, where it's almost like this is a really important issue for now. Doesn't matter whether you're hooked up or married for 20 years or you're single, it doesn't matter. What I'm feeling here for you, Shafanta, I don't want to say this is about relationship. This is all about you. What I'm feeling is that the situation for you now is a stark awakening of your own, let's say, capabilities, your own fertility in life and world, your own ability to be fertile and create and, let's say, manifest your life, manifest the physical reality of what you would like to have in this world, to be more beautiful, richer, happier, have the right mate, be the most awesome version of yourself that you can be. And so if that is the situation right now, where this is the big concern, your own beauty, your own wonder, your own, let's say, lusciousness, and yet circumstantially, it's an indication that, this is being examined or it's in question right now. That's kind of important. I think that resonates with the general theme we had here tonight, where some of us aren't aware about our own flaws. And it's really important to become aware of our own flaws and our own weaknesses, so that you can discover anything and everything that is working against you in your own awesomeness, which would be the circumstantial energy that we're looking at right now. So what is the challenge here? Okay, my feeling here, the challenge is your willingness to make the investment into yourself. Okay, it's almost like it's so much nicer if you're just born gorgeous, born rich, born happy, born awesome, and everything just comes naturally to you. My feeling here is that the situation is that this is like in the headlights right now. This is the headline issue for you right now in your life, and would include, like, I don't think this would be happening here unless it was really important for you to come to terms with your own awesomeness and becoming aware of how you might have been all this time betraying yourself and undermining yourself without knowing it, because maybe you never were taught or figured out that maybe it requires an investment. It requires love of self. If you think of love as an expendable commodity and you only have so many heartbeats and breaths on this lifetime and this planet, what are you going to do with all of that? Are you going to squander it all? Are you going to invest? Are you going to share? Whatever it is. But with the Knight of Pentacles here, my feeling is that in a healthy thing on its own, this would indicate a strong desire to invest like a really responsible farmer, doing whatever has to be done every day to get what has to be done done. That's what farmers do. They take care of everything. They do the weeding, they do the crops, they do the fertilizing, they do the picking, they do the packaging, they do the distribution, and then they start all over again. So the challenge here is actually uh, doing the work, so to speak, the willingness to invest in the self, uh, which is kind of almost very contradictory to this energy here, the circumstantial energy. So it might be a really stark wake-up call right now, Shafantu, to understand that, well, I'm not going to tell you how to do this. Hold on. Let's just have a look at how are we going to deal with this, because this is like, to me, this feels like the fear of investing in yourself because of the fear of not wanting to discover or deal with or face with whatever's not working. Okay, that's awkward. Okay, so how are we going to do this? How are we actually going to face what has to be faced? Okay, so my feeling is to it's almost like it feels to me like taking a very different perspective of how you normally see yourself. If you recognize your own majesty, if you recognize your own awesomeness on an everyday, daily basis, without arrogance or without vanity or without pompousness or anything like that, but just a good, wholesome understanding of your gifts, your talents, your beauty, your wonder as a human being, all of it, you know, whatever you look like, however rich, however poor, whatever it is, that's you and your awesomeness. And then realizing that circumstantially, now this might not be any of your fault, but it might have been that you've just been living in an environment for a long time where you never saw things from this perspective, where it's so important to love oneself and invest in oneself in a very loving way on a daily basis. Make it a daily practice. Be loving, be loved. Love oneself first. Invest in oneself for the long term. Now, how are you going to do that? It's almost like looking at yourself as opposed to someone who's awesome. It's looking at yourself with self-respect. That's what I feel here. The self-respect. Let's say self-respect versus beauty. Self-respect versus how desirable you might be to others, or how much you think how much you love yourself. It's much more to do with having an appraisal right now, treating this time, this opportunity, as a way to have a really good look, a really, really good look at yourself without judging yourself, without undermining yourself in any way, or cursing yourself out, or blaming any of your problems on anyone else. Just come to the full self-respect and say, you know what? I am going to learn how to accept myself as I am, and I'm not going to put all of this stuff aside and pretend it doesn't exist anymore. Circumstantially, whatever all that stuff is around you, that where you could think of your circumstances as a reflection of yourself. You know, like surround yourself. It's almost like you are your friends, you are your environment. So all I'm suggesting is, if you're used to being in circumstantial conditions where there's a constant, unending, uh, let's say, habit, really bad habits of things, really important things that are being ignored and buried and denied, that's a really good way to undermine yourself. And it's now important to recognize, be like really time to like start investing in yourself, recognizing your own awesomeness without feeling selfish, without having to justify that or explain that, and perhaps distance yourself from some of these kind of circumstances. If that's external, this is not healthy for you, okay? Whoever these are, wherever this is. If this is internal, that's not healthy for you. It's very important to recognize and understand what's not working. If you think of this as black ice, or you think of it as walking on broken glass or something, it's very uncomfortable, okay? That's all I'm sensing. And it's about time to set things right. It's time to be it's time to go like in deep stealth mode with yourself here and start figuring out this stuff. Where and how and when and why am I going to start cleaning up my own messes so that this doesn't have to be circumstantial reflections of yourself, okay? No insult here intent. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything. I think we're dealing with very, very hard stuff here to handle. It's very hard to deal with this, okay? But this is a golden opportunity now. You're in the right place at the right time with the right people. So you don't take this personally, and you're hopefully not offended by the reading that I just gave you. Okay, Shafanta? All right, let's leave it at that. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I hope I didn't. I hope you can get something out of the reading, okay? All right, thank you, Shafanta. I'm going to shuffle again in a moment. I already did the group thing. We did that one. Okay, I'm going to do, hold on, I got all these over here. Sue. Sue, I'm going to do Sue Johnson now. Okay. Now, just so that you know, people, I'm hardly looking at the screen at all, so I have no idea what's going on out there with you guys. I'm focusing on the readings. And right now, this reading is for Sue Johnson. I think you were one of the first people here. Okay. Look at you go, Laura. Laura Ellen Smith, look at you. Wow, I just saw that. Okay, it's like life coaching, love coaching. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. 7 steps to self-love. How about that? Maybe we could do a show on that one day. Maybe if you want to write in, Laura Ellen Smith, and write out your code or something, we'll do it on the show. If you don't have a book already or whatever, but that would be kind of fun. Put it in plain English. 7 steps. What do you think? What do you think? Laura Ellen Smith, what do you think about that? I think it would be kind of fun. I would love to speak on your behalf, because it sounds like you've got some pretty good ideas there. All right, here we go. Oh, let's have a look. Sue Johnson. Cards are well shuffled. I'm going to the last second until I feel comfortable. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. I left a bit unsettled. Yeah, this is a safe place. This is where we can do all the very, very awkward things that we can't do anywhere else. You can have a personal breakdown here. It's okay. You can laugh hysterically here. It's okay. You can be extremely shy 1 minute coming in here and then feel very bold coming out. It's okay. It's perfectly normal. All right, Sue. Let's have a look. What's going on with Sue? Oh, dear. Excuse me. That's the second fall spill I've had. It's probably me. Sue, please don't take it too personally. I'm still kind of in shock from the last few days. So I'm going to shuffle a bit more. Okay. So don't tell me anything. You don't have to write anything. All right, here we go. All right, Sue. I feel much better now. I'm kind of actually glad that the cards fell apart just then. Brought me into some concentration. All right, let's have a look. What's the situation? What is the challenge here, and how are we going to deal with it? Let's look at circumstantial energy too. It's not necessarily yours, Sue, but you still have to deal with it, okay? So what we have is the King of Swords. So honestly, Sue, before we even get to the reading, what I'm feeling here is that you might benefit from professional counsel, professional help, someone that you trust, someone who you believe is completely pure and impartial and has your best interest at stake, uh, and is working from universal truth, not subjective truth to suit them. It's much more about you, Sue Johnson. It's very important, I think, right now to, let's say, it's almost like, let's get serious here. This energy feels to me like, Sue, come on, let's get serious, okay? Let's get serious now. If you got things going on in your life that are like random, falling apart, or just don't make any sense, it's okay to get help, okay? With people who are, let's say, trustworthy, all right? What's the situation? Okay. Well, first glance is like work and money and investing and everything like that. But my feeling, it's much more to do. It's like almost being, it's almost being stressed out about money and work to the point where, you know how workaholics think like the harder I work, the better things are going to be. But my feeling here, it's not about working harder, it's working smarter. Because sometimes we can put so much into our work that it's actually a very subtle form of self-destruction. It's a very subtle form of avoiding anything and everything else in our life because we can justify work. I mean, work is like a sanctuary for a lot of people. Work is healing. Work is therapy. Work is very satisfying. Work is very, very rewarding. And all of us have to work in some way. What are you doing with your life? What are you bringing to the world? What kind of work do you do to take care of yourself in a way that's rewarding for you and brings goodness to others? That's typically what work is. Whether you're picking fruits or whether you're doing accounting or a bus driver, it's work. But I also feel that sometimes work can be an issue where it can be so consuming that there's nothing else in life, and then that can be draining, and then it starts to become, the work actually starts to become a problem. So wondering how the situation I'm thinking is very much to do with jobs, work, and stuff like that. Financial stability, worldly stability, the whole stability in your life, and how we're going to build that in the broader picture, perhaps with someone or someone else or yourself, or getting help or advice in that regard. Let's have a look. What's the challenge here? Okay, well, with the Nine of Swords, it's almost like the challenge is the unwillingness. My feeling here is the unwillingness to face something that's really right in your face right now, Sue Johnson. I don't know what it is. Um, to me, I'll be honest with you, Sue. It feels to me like there's something really like, um, I don't know what it is, unsettling or kind of like choppy or chaotic going on, which is being ignored. And it really needs care, it needs work, it needs investing, it needs intention. Maybe it's you, maybe you need to take a really good, uh, let's say, get help right now. It's and something that's might have been ignored. And the thing is, the challenge is facing it, because with all these issues here, if you've got like a whole pile of issues that have all piled up over time, literally like whatever it is, credit cards or work or health or friends and family and love life and relationships, and they're like every single part of it is all kind of messed up in some way or other, and enough where it's almost like the whole of life feels chaotic. And that the challenge is like accepting that, realizing it, facing it, almost like facing the issues. That's what I'm feeling here. And with the Nine of Swords in this position, it feels to me like there's a deep, deep fear, a deep, deep reluctance to face the issues that need to be faced right now, whatever they might be. So how are we going to deal with this? Okay. So if something's going on, this is kind of awkward, Sue. It's something maybe we should talk about. If you need to talk about this, you can go to tarotlumination.com and write in, and we'll sort out a private reading or something. But my feeling here with the Three of Swords is it's like a scary card for a lot of people. My feeling is that it's really, really important to understand this, recognize this, acknowledge this, and not deny this. If you in some way or other are either being deeply betrayed and hurt, you know, or if you have done this to somebody and maybe you're regretting it. I don't know, maybe it's like you got undermined in a job or work situation or a work relationship, or like a business partnership uh, that might have gone wrong, or something, some kind of relationship dynamic that might have gone wrong. It's very, very important to recognize it, and can't hide away from this stuff. And again, with the energy that I meant here about getting counsel, getting good advice, like if there has been some kind of like betrayal or cheating or something that ended up where there's a lot of heart pain going on right here, right now, and the issues are not being dealt with, I think it's time to deal with this stuff. Okay, that's how I would deal with this. I would deal with this by dealing with it. Okay, rather than not dealing with it. My feeling here with the challenge card is the deep unwillingness to deal with this. And my feeling here is that because of the potential pain and suffering that's at stake here, either for yourself or from whatever actually needs healing, it's important to acknowledge it and get third party counsel. Like if there's you and another, and there's a lot of pain between you and a significant other, this would be a really good time right now to face that stuff and get third party help. You know how they have mediators, like in relationship counseling, life coach counseling, marriage counseling? It might be time for something like that. Okay. All right, Sue, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings or get into any really, really awkward stuff here. It is a public forum, and I try to keep it as loose and wide and spirit oriented, as much geared and focused towards the love and the healing. But sometimes awkward stuff comes up. Okay, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings. Please make the best out of that little reading, and if it didn't make any sense to you, please like gift it to somebody else. All right. Okay, let's have a look. Whew. All right, Sue. I'm really okay. That was a pretty tough reading, Sue. I hope you get something out of it. Please extract the value out of it, however you can. Okay, so we've got Marilyn and Lena and Claire. Okay. So Marilyn, are you still in the house? I hope you're still here. Actually, folks, I kind of need a bathroom break right now. I hope you don't mind. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. Now, I don't think I've ever done this before in the middle of a show. I can usually hold it. But right now, I'm going to play you the blue light. Okay? So I'm going to put a little picture here for you. Hold on. Give me a moment. Stay there. Don't go away. This is the manuscript for the book, Love and Healing, a little book about the healing power of love. This is the manuscript. I'm just going to show you this, okay? And we're working on it. Terra Illumination is getting a lot of support and help from some of you guys. Thank you very much. I'm going to pull this little picture out because this is kind of the whole theme of the book. All right. So I'll put this over here. I'm going to put this over to the side. I'm going to play the little song. Okay, Sue Johnson, you got that, Sue? Are you good to go, Sue? Any problems? If you got any serious issues and you need proper counsel and everything, and you want to talk with Terra Illumination and book something, go ahead. Go to terraillumination.com and you can do the connect page, okay? That's how you do it. All right, bye. So let me put this on. I'll be right back, people.
I've witnessed the blue lights around you, mixed with gold and turquoise surrounding you, pouring down on you like a shower that you shared with us for an hour. And though sometimes it feels like it's fading, I know you won't let it all disappear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. We need the light shining eternal, most especially when things get infernal. When things get all battered and shattered, lost in darkness, that's when it matters. And though sometimes it feels like it's fading, I know you won't let it all disappear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear.
Okay, there we go. Hold on, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. I got to get back into the groove. Hold on, it's playing again. Stay there. I'm still not finished with my little break.
I've witnessed the blue lights around you, mixed with gold and turquoise surrounding you, pouring down on you like a shower that you shared with us for an hour. And though sometimes it feels like it's fading, I know you won't let it all disappear. Your love is the essence, burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear.
Okay, I'm going to cut it off in the middle of the song now. Sorry, because I'm back and I've got the refreshments sorted along with the volume knobs here. Okay, let's sort that out. Thank you. Well done. Let's put this all back together. Let's put the stage back together, get the cards out, and we're going to get back to the reading. I got to do a little bit of shuffling, so bear with me, and we'll get into it. See, Laura, you're in the right place at the right time for the right reasons. It's fun to hang out here with all the crazy people. Terra Lumination Love Tribe is smoking, man. Totally smoking. And from my perspective, what it's about is providing that place. I feel like it's like I'm just one of those people. I can't actually do it too much the way I live, but I've thrown some pretty good parties in my life. You know, epic parties that you remember for life. I've done a few of those, and I have people who've told me about them many years later. That was the one to remember. Like epic stuff happens, you know, that kind of party. So anyway, Marilyn, you are up. And this is the reading that I think I owed you from some time ago. All right. Well, you know how they make safe places for kids, you know? We need safe places for adults too. When I'm feeling extra super rich, there's a place where I do little donations. It's called Children of the Night. And it's a very special place where they take care of little kids who have been put out to work on the streets using their bodies to make a living. And it's a very, very tragic world. And it's a place where these little kids can go and have a chance to kind of integrate back into humanity, because it's very, very hard to feel like a normal person again once you've been traumatized in such a way where you were trained or forced or, let's say, conditioned into selling your body for a professional PIMP, you know, one of those things. Very tragic. All right, here we go. Sorry, that was a very heavy thing to put in the middle of Terra Illumination Sunday Night Live. I'm sorry about that. So here we go. All right, Marilyn, this one's for you. And just so that we have a little bit of a checkup here, next we've got Lena and then Claire. Okay, Marilyn, Lena, and then Claire. Now that's the way it's looking so far. I think Yeah, I think we're cut. Let's have a look. What's going on here? All right, Marilyn. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge. Here's how we're going to handle it. What's the circumstantial energy looking like? Queen of Cups. I repeat. I just want to check something. All right, so Marilyn, my feeling is that this is a good time, circumstantially, where it's almost like my feeling is almost like it's time to take a pause, look around you, your life and your world, your friends, your family, your loved ones, understanding where you fit in that world, your place in that world, the dignity that you have there, the respect that you have from others, and the respect that you offer to others. And also be very aware of what's not working in that regard. I think it's really important to understand about how much love is actually out there and that's available, and how it's very hard for the healing power of love to flow when certain behaviors are not deliberately cultivated, like kindness, respect, affection, patience, good listening, uh, all these really, really simple things, which are the hallmarks of a very loving person and a very loving environment. And if there's anything that's out of alignment for you in your world right now, I think it's really, really important to understand, like it's time for you, Marilyn, to look at your surroundings. So like if you see something gorgeous out there, please consider that as a reflection of yourself. If you see something that's unacceptable out there, please see that as a chance for you to exercise the healing power of love. Perhaps bring yourself into uh, alignment, what needs to be done. If it means removing yourself from people, places, situations that are not conducive or respectful of you, if you have been used to living in environments and places and people and relationships where you're always questioning the energy of love that you have, like, why am I giving all this away and there's nothing coming back? Or why am I not respected in my environment when I deserve the respect? I feel that there's a lot of questioning going on here for you, Marilyn, where it's really time to understand what really, really counts. What really, really counts is being a lot of self-respect, self-love, um, like looking in the mirror. It's almost like being the queen, being very regal, understanding your own self-worth. Even if you don't fully understand it, then I think this is circumstantially a good time to start taking stock here about what really, really counts for you. Because it's out there. What's the situation? Well, with the Seven of Wands here, it's an indication that in some ways you're already on top of this. It feels to me like you're already working at it, but it is a work in progress where, like, the deeper you go into it, the harder the challenges become. Okay? So sometimes that happens, like when you start to do self-healing work, you start to make love and healing a priority. When you start realizing it is time to have more self-respect, be much more loving of oneself, first of all, doing it by the invocations that we did earlier, deliberately bringing the healing power of love into your life so that it can be expressed and moved and shared and carried outwards. It's like the more you do that, I know it sounds going to strange, but it's going to sound strange, but it's the more you do that, it's almost like the more problems you invite to yourself. I know that's going to sound strange, but that's what I'm feeling here, Marilyn. So Marilyn, you might be already on top of these issues where you're already on a path of trying to, like, become more self-loving, more self-respect, more kindness and consideration to yourself, which then will ultimately translate into you receiving that from your environment too. Simply through the laws of attraction, what can happen is that you know, when you I'm trying to use an analogy here. I'm not sure if it's going to work very well, but you know, when you start doing some remodeling jobs on your house or something like that, or trying to do a repair on something, and you think, oh, I'll just fix this thing. I'll just pull this old bit of paint off. And then you pull that off, and then a whole bunch of other stuff comes up with it. And you think, oh, I didn't expect that. I better go a bit deeper. So you go a bit deeper and you realize, oh my gosh, there's all sorts of other issues. And you start to realize that maybe you've just been unaware about, you know, how much stuff you've been having to put up with from others around you who have all their own agendas and issues as their number one priorities in their lives. And maybe in some ways they're taking it out on you, and you're at the position now where you're having to defend and protect yourself, which you might not be used to doing. Maybe you're used to giving it all away because you're naturally abundant, but now it's time to, like, you know what, it's time that I need some self-respect now too for myself. I need respect from you guys too. And I'm not willing to put up with being the go-to person for all your issues and desires and, um, uh, you know, let's say unconscious wishes and dreams that you expect me to sort out and fix for you. I have a right to, let's say, my own goodness, my own happiness too. And maybe it is time for you to, it's almost like drawing a line in the sand where Marilyn Deloney, it's like, you know what? You know, you guys need to learn how to take care of yourselves, okay? Whether it's kids, brothers, sisters, employees, spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever it is. Like, it's about time, like, because I got stuff to take care of now. It's my turn. It's my turn to love me. I know you got your issues, but I got mine too. You know, thank you very much. No apologies. So what's the challenge here? Okay. To me, it feels it's all about maintaining of self-respect. My feeling here for you, Marilyn, is that you might just not be used to it. You might not be used to seeing yourself as dignified or seeing yourself as someone that deserves to love and be loved, who deserves to be respected. Because maybe nobody ever trained you or coached you or anything like that. Maybe you were just always born from scratch, always having to put up with everyone else's stuff, and that just became your way of life. You know, that's just life. And that's not just life. You have a right to a life yourself. And the challenge here is what I see is self-respect, where you're not fully, you're scared. It's almost like scared. You know how like people walk around like trying to be invisible, okay, because they don't want to attract problems or anything because they might be very shy or lacking in confidence. And that's kind of what the issue is here. If you're so used to getting by in life, Marilyn, where it's just, life is just one endless, uh, game of self-defense where you're constantly having to protect and defend your own self, because there's so much stuff coming at you that's not really yours. It's time to almost say, you know what, enough, enough, stop. Everybody just stop. I am Marilyn Deloney, and I deserve a little bit of respect here. It's time to sort of, what's that? It's a very old song, walk tall, walk high, and look the world right in your eye, in the eye. And that's the challenge here. Um, let's say carrying oneself with dignity as though like you own the room. And you might not be like that. You might be very shy and accommodating and very gentle. And the whole idea of realizing it's time to be confident, acknowledge and self-respect, and uh, learning how to carry oneself with like the full dignity that you deserve, and owe yourself as a human being. You have a full right to be you, Marilyn, in all your glory, and so become an inspiration to others. The King of Wands on its own is very empowering, inspiring, courageous energy. It's like being the boss of a company, and everybody wants to work for you because they like your company, they like what you do. But this is in the challenge position is that I see that there's tremendous doubt here, tremendous self-doubt in your abilities to carry yourself in full dignity and mastery. So that kind of makes the problems just get worse and worse and worse. It just becomes a perpetual motion machine of things not working for you. So how do we deal with this? My feeling here is in some ways it's very, very simple. It's time to surround yourself with people who appreciate you. And that's the first step. And you don't have to just walk around and go on to some life coach training program where you are, let's say, I don't know, you're taking pills or something like stimulants or ephedra or something, or extra coffee to make you feel extra special and bouncy and happy and everything. It's none of that. I think what's actually going to work here is using the healing power of no, the healing power of FU, at the extremes, to say enough is enough with you guys, people. I'm sick of this. I don't need this stuff anymore. And it's time to surround yourself with talent. Surround yourself with people who do respect you and you respect them. Like starting to be in a situation where, yeah, you see yourself as a work in progress. You've got lots of homework to do on yourself, but like hang out here with Terra Illumination on a regular basis and learn, make deliberate choices to be with people who understand you and see you as a work in progress, and that you have quite a ways to go, and like recalibrating yourself in order to bring yourself into your full sense of dignity. Yeah, if you've been giving it all away forever to the point where it's almost like there's no sense of ego or self-respect or anything, that's tragic. It's time to turn it around. And the first step is walk into a place, walk into a room where other people are already working on these issues themselves as a work in progress. Understand it. Even Terra Illumination is a work in progress. I work every day trying to deal with these issues here, okay? Self-respect, self-love, dignity, honoring, being kind, respectful towards myself and to others, and figuring out exactly where, when, and how I am going to share my love with others and allow others to share with me. It's all deliberate. It's by deliberate choices and decisions. So my feeling for you, Marilyn, is that it's time to make deliberate choices and decisions to surround yourself with people who value you. Okay, so feeling like you're on the same wavelength as them. So you value them, you really like them and their company, and enough with all this BS. And that's a choice. It's a deliberate decision to say enough of that. Let's start with this. So please think of that as very closely aligned with the eclipses right now. Okay? All right. It's time to stop giving it all away to the community and the environment for, all these noble causes and everything. It's time to love yourself first. Put yourself in a situation where you are appreciated and can be nurtured, and you can help in reciprocal ways and nurture others in their own self-growth as an investment program, okay? Self-love investment program. Now we can go back and talk to those 7 things that I forgot whoever it was who wrote about that. Things about self-love. All right, so Lena, I'm sorry about that, Marilyn. I got a bit stern there. All the readings tonight feel as though they're really kind of serious and kind of heavy. And let's just blame it on the eclipses, okay? Lena, you're up, all right? And then Claire, all right? Thank you, Awesome. I like that when I see that. So give me a moment here, Lena. I want to shuffle the cards. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play that little song again, wherever it was, because I'm already needing a break again.
I've witnessed the blue lights around you, mixed with gold and turquoise surrounding you.
Linda, hi Linda, hi Linda,
Pouring down
I see you.
on you like a shower that you shared with us for an hour. And though sometimes it feels like it's fading, I know you won't let it all disappear. Your love is the essence, burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. We need the light shining eternal, most especially when things get infernal. When things get all battered and shattered, lost in darkness, that's when it matters. And though sometimes it feels like it's fading, I know you won't let it all disappear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear. Your love is the essence, it burns incandescent. Your love is a lighthouse, my dear.
Okay, so there we go. I had to have a little break. Thank you for tolerating that timeout. Lena, you're up. Cards are well shuffled in advance. No flyers, jumpers, oracles, no reversals. None of it, sorry. Lena, thank you. You've just been awesome. So supportive. I really appreciate that. Let's get you your reading. Apparently, somebody said you'd never had one before. I find that hard to believe, but if that's true, I think it's kind of tragic. So let's make the best of this, okay? I wanted to share with others that, actually, I'll talk about that later, but this is over the last week or two, in the next couple of weeks, it's kind of like the anniversary for Tarot Illumination. Tarot Illumination has been going about a year now. It's still a very new channel. It's still very tiny. And I wanted to celebrate. This time last year, it was very, very, very tough for Tarot Illumination before Tarot Illumination became Tarot Illumination. But now we're here. We survived. We made it through the first year. It was incredibly tough. Honestly, incredibly tough. But I'm glad we survived, and I'm really looking forward to another year with you guys. I'm going to make the best of it that I can for you. And I love doing this for you guys. And I just want to make it better and better and better. Okay? All right, here we go. All right, Lena. Just one thing I've noticed, I know it sounds strange, but most of the readings are challenging. It's because a lot of the times it's because we need to hear what needs to be healed. We have to reveal it to heal it. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when we do the group readings, they are always consistently very much in alignment with who we are and what we are doing here with Terra Lumination Love Tribe. It's really, really striking. I don't know if you noticed that, but I feel it from here. And I'm really glad whoever thought about that, doing the group readings on a regular basis. I really thank you. All right, Lena, it might have been you. It probably was you. Anyway, we're going to do one just for you now, okay? So who knows? Maybe this is just going to be a just glorious thing here. Let's have a look. What's the situation? What's the challenge? How are we going to deal with it? It's almost like we're looking for problems, right? Because that's what we need. Healing means having to find out what is the issue and then we solve it or work on the solving. So what are the circumstantial energies like? Think of it as the weather. Okay. So the good thing here, Lena, is that enough is enough. Lena, Lena, Lena. If you're not aware of it, if you're one of those people who is very, very good at conducting yourself in life as though nothing is wrong, maybe it's time to be honest and say, you know what? There's a whole pile of SHIT going on, and enough is enough. And it's time, like we said with the other reading, it's time to draw a line in the sand and say, this is no longer acceptable. Okay? If you're circumstantially in a place right now in your life, in your world, where you're looking around you and you're thinking, like, I can't take this anymore. I can't put up with this, all this stuff happening to me. I can't fight this anymore. It's done, you know? If you have been placing yourself in a position where you are the pincushion for everyone else, and everyone has taken out their issues against you, and it's just been piling up like literally like war wounds, you know, this could have been going on for years, Lena. Maybe you're just one of those people who's like very tolerant, very loving, very capable, very strong, very good natured. And it's just like very easier for you to say, oh, okay, well, they couldn't help it. They had a problem. They're weak. They were sad. They were broken, and I lent them some money, but I never got it back. Or he was a really nice guy, but he cheated on me. But it's okay. And you know, to me, this feels like the energy of circumstantial energy is saying it can't get any worse. Okay, and it's time to look at this as a stark awakening. Again, I'm going to go back. Lena, stay there. I'm going to take this all the way back to the eclipses again, looking at the eclipses happening right now. We're still in it, you know. We just had a couple of weeks ago, we had the Leo Aquarius thing. And a few days ago, we had the new moon in Aquarius. So it's very, very much about letting go. Wherever the Aquarius thing lies in your chart, wherever that is, it could be anywhere, wherever that is, I think the new moon was probably a trigger that's supposed to wake you up. It's supposed to shake you and say, Lena, enough is enough is enough. Wake up. Wake up about what you are just spontaneously giving away to your environment and your community just because, you know, you might have been conditioned or trained to be nice. Like if somebody does that guilt trip on you, like where they say, hey, Lena, so what are you doing for life? What are you doing for others? What are you doing for the community? Well, I would invite you to do a bit of this and say, excuse me, what are you doing? You, what specifically are you doing? Because it's time for me to take care of myself and say enough is enough of giving it all away, putting up with all this other random external pain, circumstantial pain that's not really yours, but you accepted it because you could, probably because you're very strong and capable and loving, and that's not healthy. So you get to a point where you realize, bammo, now is the time to face all this. Look at all this stuff. Define it. Put All of this, look at your world around you, Lena, and go, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of the way that I was raised as a kid because of this. I'm sick of the lies and BS from other people. I'm sick of the way that I was treated by this person or that guy or whatever. And enough is enough is enough. It can't get any worse. I can't take it anymore. It's not safe or natural or healthy. It's time to look to new horizons and start from scratch. New awakenings here. Got to reveal it to heal it and start new habits, self-healing habits. What's the situation? Okay. However, have you heard that expression, better the devil you know? Like some people become so wedded to their pain and their suffering and their never-ending misery that they think that that's their life. That is their whole identity. They don't necessarily boast about this, but deep inside, when they go to bed at night, they realize that their whole life is just kind of like being a punching bag for other people, a pincushion for other people, uh, damaging yourself, cursing yourself for how and why things don't work better. But the thing is, this is something I discovered in my own life. When it comes to the process of love and healing, inviting the healing power of love into your life and your world, and realizing what happens when it actually gets there and you allow it to move through your life and your world, you realize that it does not like this. It's almost like it's trying to wash this away. But if this takes up your whole world, when you try to wash away all the wounds and the suffering, it's almost like washing away your whole identity. And it's almost like you had, what do they call that? Stockholm syndrome, where you become in love with your prisoners. You become, sorry, you fall in love with your jailer, the people who put you in jail, because it's almost like you've accommodated yourself and acclimatized yourself to misery. And then all of a sudden realizing that it is okay to heal, it is okay to change and grow, evolve, and move around, move on, and say enough is enough is enough. But the situation is that it means walking away from everything that you love. We can love our problems. Like if you go to a bar or a club or hang out with your friends, some of the most fun, delicious, satisfying things to do is talk about all your pain and woe and misery and suffering. It's a way of getting it out from you. But you're still holding on to it because you're still telling the stories over and over and over. And you fall in love with the stories. You're like, oh, do you remember the time when I got screwed over by so and so? Oh, do you remember the time when I failed at this and I lost everything, and how all the misery. And that, people talk about that in bars and pubs and clubs and over coffee and whatever. But when you're actually forced by the eclipses, forced irreversibly, no going back and no returns, to to let go of all that stuff, you realize how much you love all that, how much you love your problems, how much your problems become your identity. And so when you go into that healing environment, a healing chapter in your life where you decide enough is enough, you realize you have to let go of these things that you love. It's almost like you're in love with your wounds here. So, and that could be scary, letting go of that, going that, and walking into this vast unknown. When you take away all of this and it fills up your whole life and your whole world, and you take all of this away and you realize, facing into the unknown, like, wait a minute, who am I really? What am I really? And was I always defined by my pain and suffering and wounds? Is that not my real identity? No, it is not, Lena. Okay? This is just circumstance. Okay? So the situation is all about moving on from everything that you've loved in the way that you thought you loved it, and realizing it that this is over, it's done, it's time for you to move on. What's the challenge? Okay, you're scared. Obviously, obviously you would be scared. It's perfectly normal, because it means going into the unknown. It means going into like the dark, scary woods of your own shadow self, your own wounds, your own pain and suffering, and realizing, oh my gosh, This does not need to be here. This needs to go. Oh my gosh, what is this? Where did this come from? This needs to go. This needs to go. All of this needs to go. And it's a scary experience. It's like being a wounded animal in the jungle at night and knowing that you are the only person who can heal yourself. And if you don't do that, you are going to fade away. So the scary thing is having to trust in this really profound situation, circumstantial energy here that's happening, where I feel that the eclipses are forcing you to face this stuff, face the circumstances, and walk into this whole new world, which is nothing like what you've known. And that's typical for an eclipse. So it can be scary. It's like if I was there with you right now, Lena, and I said, enough. We don't need this anymore. This all has to go. And then I say, okay, now I'm going to officially take it away from you. And you're left with nothing. None of these. That's terrifying. Okay? Because it's like I'm taking away your identity. So that's scary. Okay? So it feels like you might be initiated into this whole new weird world, but you don't know what it's like yet on the other side. The other side is just fine, but it's getting through there. It's like, when you get hazed and you go to a college or a new job, and it's supposed to be amazing, but when you get there, they treat you like hell because everyone else who's already there is kind of testing you, almost like a big joke. How do we deal with this? The fear. Okay, let's just say, let's get away from the emotions here a little bit. I got really carried away with the energy there, Lena. I was really feeling it. And I think the way to handle this, again, with Tarot Illumination, my theme here is always about the love and the healing. The way to handle it is look at this as a long-term investment program where we're not just going to say, Lena, enough is enough. All of this has to go. This is done. It's over. The eclipse has said so. It's time to walk away from everything that you've known and loved and move on. Thank you very much. I know it's going to be scary, but you can do it. No, I don't think we should use that approach here. I think the way to do this is look at this as a long-term investment program where you gently, systematically, let's just say, admit it to yourself, like, oh my gosh, Tarot Illumination, I think you might be right. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So that means I have to face all this and realize that I could have been the author of my own demise. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And instead of we just sit here and say, enough, this is done, poof. What we do is we do it gently. We just systematically go through all of these and start pulling it away one at a time, just like you would be a farmer. And that is a form of investment. You start investing in yourself first, okay? Not anyone and everyone else's problems. Forget all of that stuff. Make yourself the number one priority. Bring all your expendable love assets because they can be wasted. Are you going to waste all this energy, all this good love energy here? It's not cups, but to me, this is like love is as love does. This is love, the evidence of love, love in action. Love is the willing decision to extend yourself above and beyond your comfort zone in order to bring spiritual health and healing to yourself and your loved ones. So it can be uncomfortable, okay? I'm not talking about gooey, lovely, fluffy, romantic love. I'm talking about long-term love, about the investment, tough love, where you start investing in yourself. You invest all of this energy into yourself, starting to realize your own talents and gifts from the ground up, and walking away from this whole perception that this could almost be your identity. It doesn't have to be that way. Like here tonight, Lena, you might be in a really good mood because you're hanging out with good people and it's a healing environment. But after the show, for all we know, you go back home to this and you just wait here till next week for us to come around again. But it's time to make it real. Okay, it's time to you There's no faking it here. It's really, really time to start investing in yourself and walking away from all your war wounds, the stories of it and everything, because it's history. It's done, it's gone, it's over. And it might feel scary to start living and thinking in a new way like this, but it's worth it, Lena. It's really worth it because you start to invest in a whole new life. Okay? That's all I'm seeing. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings or feel like I was, telling you what to do or how to live your life. I didn't mean that at all. I just wanted to help you. All right, Lena? Sometimes I get a little bit like a mother hen. I get very parental and I'm very concerned about other people's welfare and if they're getting hurt, and I don't want that to happen. So I start telling them what to do. And I know I shouldn't have done that, but I can't help it. I get very, let's say, I suffer from it like you guys. I have that, like, I can be a compassion junkie at times. So that's not acceptable now. It's time for you, Lena, to invest in yourself, okay? All right. All right, let's have a look. Thank you, Lena. Claire, you're up. Claire, you are up. All right, let's see what's going on. By the way, I don't think I'm going to be able to do any more readings after this. I'm kind of getting tired. And it's been very tough here lately, just like it has been for a lot of you. I can tell by the comments and notes from when people write in. So let's not take it personally. Let's treat these situations and circumstances as just the way it's supposed to be for all of us, and we're going to make the best of it, okay? Including for you, Lena, okay? Okay, I'm glad you understand, Lena. I'm glad you understand. I don't mean any hard feelings. I hope you don't have any hard feelings towards Terra Lumination. I'm really trying to help, okay? Sometimes it's like, like when you go to the dentist and you're getting a root canal and everything's going great, but then there's a slight distraction and the dentist slips and it gets very painful. They don't mean to do that. They're actually trying to help you. And sometimes that happens with me. I feel like sometimes I mess up in my words or my language and I accidentally hurt somebody's feelings, and I don't mean to, okay? So also, people, when we're doing these readings, I try to do it broad and from the spirit and from the healing, but it's up to you to translate it into your particular circumstances at home in your own life, all right? All right, Claire, you're up. Actually, cards are nicely shuffled. Let's leave it like that. Let's go straight for the cut. I'm going to do a very extreme cut. All right, let's have a look, people. What's the situation? What's the challenge? How are we going to handle this? And what's the weather like, okay? Think of it as just out there, okay, circumstantial, but you, Claire, of course, are going to make the best of it. Knight of Swords. So, Claire, like, what I'm feeling here is to be careful. Be careful at the moment right now, Claire. Understand that you might have a lot. It's like a lot of issues that you'd like to take care of, like be resolved, and sort them out and make them right, so to speak, so you can get beyond them and move on. Maybe there's a pile of stuff that's been happening in your life and world and circumstances that it's just your The desire to make it right. That's what I'm feeling here. The desire to make it right is really, really strong right now. And if you think of that as a current of energy, that's great. All I'm suggesting is please don't allow yourself simply to be swept along in the currents, so to speak, where you could end up hurting yourself or hurting others. Like sometimes we get also fired up about things. We can end up, like having a, gosh, I don't want to put like a negative spin on it, but it's almost like just be very, very careful of your thoughts and your words and your beliefs. Like, what are you saying? Who you're saying it to? How you're saying it? When you're saying it? Where you're saying it? Why? All of that, because words are very, very powerful, and your thoughts too. All I'm suggesting is like pretend you're like the president of somewhere, of a big corporation or of a country or something, and everybody's watching you all the time. You have to understand that literally every word, every gesture, every nuance of your eyebrows, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself is being interpreted by other people, and they scrutinize, they watch very, very carefully, like, oh, Claire was frowning today. Uh-oh, that means is she angry? You have to be very, very careful. Like, that's all I'm suggesting right now is be extremely conscious right now in your circumstances about when you're saying things, and also when you're listening things. Don't rush to judgment. What you're saying, where you're saying it, when you're saying it, who you're saying it to, why you're saying it, how you're saying it, all of those things. It's really important circumstantially right now to be aware of that, because it could be so easy to mess up and misinterpret things, okay? Because the energy's on a roll and we want to get rolling and get done what has to be done. But understand that you're putting out energy and you are being observed, and it gets reflected back to you. That's all I'm suggesting, is be very careful, especially when the energy is strong. Let's have a look. What's the circumstances? Okay, so with the Five of Pentacles here, a lot of people see this as the poverty card, but it can also be impoverishment of spirit. It could be impoverishment of relationships, because I don't know anything about your sun signs and star signs or whatever, Claire, but I like to go completely blind. But oftentimes we end up in a state of impoverishment. Like, if it's money, okay, if it's spirit, if it's love, it's relationship, a home, or health, or something where the energy of impoverishment is really dominant right now. It's important to understand that you still have strengths, assets, gifts, and resources. But if the sense of impoverishment is so strong that you're not aware of that, in other words, like, how when you're really, really sick, it makes it worse. You feel really depressed. And the more depressed you get, the more sick you get. It becomes a downward, ugly spiral. And that's what can happen here. Circumstantially, if you're on a downer and you feel like it's just getting worse and worse and worse, that could be what's going on here. And it's a question of acknowledging that, realizing that. And maybe you're already fired up and wanting to do something about it. All I'm suggesting is just be very, very careful right now, because in some ways you're very vulnerable. You're very vulnerable to your own, like worst habits, worst thoughts. You could easily get yourself into worse trouble without even meaning to. Also, with the Five of Pentacles, it could be a stark realization that you might have picked the wrong company, the wrong companions, the wrong mate, the wrong partners, the wrong social environments, anything that's impoverishing to you. And even though you might have meant well in the very beginning, if you come to a historical moment, like in a relationship or a job or a career or your life or your health or kids or whatever it might be, and you realize, and you're really being starkly appraised of all the lack and all the failings and everything that's not working, sure, it might be really uncomfortable, but my view with Tarot Illumination is to see this as a chance to realize everything that's not working for you. Like, if you realize like you're with the wrong mate, the wrong partner, and They realize that they're not the right person for you. It's really important to acknowledge that. Okay. Sometimes we make contracts with people, like we get engaged and we get married and we have joint finances and everything, and we realize we made a big mistake. In which case, if you want to keep this all going, then you don't talk about it. Maybe it's important to get this all out in the open now and declare what is not working, what is not acceptable in whatever aspect of life this relates. So, what's the challenge here? Okay, it's all about the forgiving and forgetting and the moving on, redemption. I feel this is in two ways, okay, Claire? So if you're if things are going bad in some way, like say a relationship is falling apart or breaking up, or you're losing a job, you're losing money or something, and you're realizing it, it's like, oh my effing dear God, I need to do something about this. I need to blame you or blame them, or I'm scared that I'm going to get blamed or whatever it is. And it's a desire to protect yourself from even more damage by perhaps going to the whole point of retaliation that could, it could end up making things worse. So you get to a position where the challenge is like, can you face this with the judgment card? Are you willing to forgive and be forgiven? Okay. Because in some ways, if there's really tough things here where there's no resolution, in other words, if something is basically completely broken, FUBR, FUBAR, effed up beyond repair, it's really important to acknowledge it openly, in a very stark, open, true, honest way, and then to move on. So you can heal and move on. But that might be the problem. Being willing, ready, and able to, let's say, have a fresh new beginning, to forgive and forget the perpetrators. Like if you ended up impoverishing someone else, if someone else ended up impoverishing you, either way it hurts. And if there's a lot of ill will between yourself and others, or between others and you, and you're finding it very hard to forgive and forget, it's understandable. Okay, but oftentimes that's where all the power lies, in being willing to go like, you know what, it's okay, the damage is done, there's nothing that anybody can do now, it's best to forgive and forget and move on, and treat the whole thing as a blessing, literally like blessing your enemies. So that can be very hard to do sometimes. That could be a challenge. And also, it's the fear of starting all over again, having lost everything. Like if you've lost somebody and then you're wondering, are you ever going to reconnect again? Who knows? And have a new life again. So, how do we deal with this? Okay. Please, Claire, accept your innocence. With the Page of Wands here, my feeling is to not be too hard on yourself. Be very, very careful. Literally, thoughts are things. Words can be weapons. Words can be very, very healing. Words can be very, very powerful. How you conduct yourself in this condition right now, it might be better to like slow down and just take a really stark, honest appraisal of the situation, and realize that if things truly are FUBAR, then just accept it, forgive and forget, and move on. And with the how to deal with this energy, is just like a good way to do it is understand your innocence. Understand that you meant well. Understand that they meant well. Nobody actually deliberately set out to hurt the others. You didn't set out to deliberately hurt people. I don't think anybody deliberately set out to hurt you. It's just a journey where we learn through our mistakes. And it's okay. And then you can allow yourself to forgive and forget and move on. But it does mean, in order to deal with this stuff, whatever this negative stuff is, the way to handle it is to like, it's basically, Claire, be nice to yourself. It's okay to say, you know what? I screwed up. Or you screwed up. We couldn't help it. We were both innocent. I didn't know what I was doing. You didn't know what you were doing. Neither of us knew what we were doing. So, let's just forgive and forget and move on, and allow our lives to blossom and start from scratch again, going forward, having learned something the hard way. Okay. And it's almost like that energy of like when you really screwed up with somebody and they really screwed up with you, and you've been in the wars, you've been in the battles, and you realize this is not going anywhere. You realize, you know what? Let's forget it. We meant well. You kind of you give each other this kind of a respectful, like, you know what? It's okay. No bitterness here, no grudges, no resentment, no anger, no vengeance, nothing. We tried, we tried, we tried. We all did our best. You, Claire, did your best. Everyone else did their best. Didn't work out, but you might have learned a lot. And most of the importantly, you might have learned how to forgive and forget and move on and evolve and understand that we're all innocent. You are innocent. They are innocent. We always have some degree of innocence and learning ahead of us. Okay? So I hope that makes sense for you, Claire. I hope you get something out of this. And please make the best of it. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings or offend you in any way. I'm just trying to help, okay? Oh, man. Okay, let's put some healing tunes on. I just want to get some healing here. Okay, stay there. Thank you very much, Claire. Thank you so, so much. Okay, everybody get up and dance now. Alrighty, everybody, get up, shake it around, shake off the cobwebs. I know some of you are eating pretzels under the covers, watching this on your smartphone. I know some of you are all curled up with your dogs and cats and pets. I know some of you are hiding in your cars, in a car park somewhere doing this. Whatever it is, it's time to get up and dance, all right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Work it out of your system. Work it out. Hey, Tanya from New Zealand. I'm going to New Zealand in July.
reach out for the skies. Opening my hands to welcome the day. Gathering the sun's rays on my head. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul. Shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonating inside us, love is the word. Rolling through the day, may no accidents arise. Giving thanks to heaven that I am still alive. Blessing my enemies, blessing the ones I love. Praying for forgiveness from any damages I've done. The healing vibrations rattle through my soul. Shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonating inside us, love is the word. Now the day is done and moon is on the rise. My trials and tribulations all bottled up inside. I summon in the numb as I reach up for the skies.
Poor Liz sit all day at LAX. I'm so sorry.
Shadows be gone before my eyes. Healing vibrations rattle through my soul. Shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonating inside us, love is the word. And the healing vibrations rattle through my soul. Shaking out the poisons, making me whole. Casting out diseases by chanting the word. The sounds of the universe by all will be heard. Resonating inside us, love is the word.
Okay, let's just dance, people. Okay. I'm just gonna hang out with you guys for a while now. Yeah, love is the word. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sing the word, share the word, speak the word, dance the word. Sing it out, sing the word, share the word, speak the word, dance the word, sing the word, praise the word, heal the word, love the word, live the word, fight the word, shake the word, hug the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing out the word, share the word, speak the word, dance the word, say the word, praise the word, hear the word,
Sing it to yourself.
live the word, fight the word, share the word, hug the word, breathe the word, whisper the word, sigh the word, love the word, sing it
Just hum along. Hum along. It's an easy tune. So there we go. Another night to our Lumination Sunday Night Live. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for letting me read for you. A few of you who got a reading, I'm sorry that I can't give readings to everybody. And, this is just a way to promote the channel and, everything like that. So I bid you all a farewell and good night. It's been lovely to have you here. I love doing this for you. We've been going about 3 hours now. So let's take it to the 3 hour mark just for the heck of it, just so that it shows up. And we'll do this again another time. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Primary. Thank you all, Sun. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you, Abby. Everyone who showed up. Thank you so, so much. It's been a pleasure. All right. Okay, so say your farewells, everybody, to whoever says to say goodnight. I know some of you like to check out privately, but you know. So there you go. Good night, everybody. Bye bye.